Hi, everybody. It's Amalia, founder of S.T.E.M Braids and Beyond, and I'm here today with another incredible video. Today, I'm actually commenting on a video or some information shared by one of my favorite Ravens, number 44, Marlon Humphrey. He plays safety. Oh my gosh, he's so good. But he was talking about education and a realization he made. Something that I found was interesting, and I swear part of how I define and frame the problem in STEM, he's commented and highlighted a lot of it, but it was a realization that he had now that he has children. What was interesting for me, and I will share that when we look at the video in a little bit together, I'll comment as we go. I was having some connectivity issues, so hopefully this time it works. But he was talking about it was a recent realization he had. And that was so interesting to me because in other demographics in STEM, and the demographic my work applies to is the underrepresented in STEM, which is defined by the National Science Foundation, NSF. It's a department under the Department of Education, is defined as Blacks and women. And when we look at represented communities in STEM, before the child is born, they have the child's whole life planned out, including the college they go to. And so it is fascinating to me that both Marlon and I are a part of the underrepresented demographic, and he's just now having that thought and that framework for his own son. But before we get excited, let's go ahead and jump into the video. It should load any second now. Yep. Yay. All right. And I'll comment as we go just to
what
make
is on your
things.
mind today?
Honestly, what's on my mind, because I did talk about it once or twice today, and this, when I say this is going to sound weird, but it's not because I'm going to follow up, is kids. You know, if you really think about it, and I didn't really truly think about this until as of recently. And, you know, I'm not really throwing shots at my own, you know, my little son, but.
That's okay. You can take it.
We're reading a book. We weren't really reading. It was a watch book, big book, you know, mainly pictures. And, you know, I pointed to some of the numbers and it pondered on me. He got one of the numbers wrong. You know, he just, you know, and then I thought to myself, it's crazy the development of a child. You truly, and obviously this is, you know, obviously, but you truly gotta like teach a kid stuff or they literally know nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like, you know, being that they can talk and, you know, they might, you know, be intelligent, they know this, they can say this, they know this, boom, 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 they know car, their color, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to as far as word, like written down, you know, they have to be taught. And obviously this sounds very obvious that a person that knows nothing has to be taught, but it honestly, it just surprised me.
So something I want to highlight
talking
here
to the
that he
guys
said,
over
I don't know if I'm in camera, it looks come up, but I can still comment on it. He said that he pointed on, which I don't know was the right word to use, but a child actually has to be taught. One of the things he says that the child would be intelligent and show signs of intelligence, but when it comes to written words, like academics, like reading, the child has to be taught. And this is part of what I identified as an issue within STEM, which is that in the underrepresented community, because we haven't had historical access to education, even when you think about when education became a right for the underrepresented community in STEM, we were just pushed into the classroom. Nobody was teaching us. It's like there was no investment in the actual success and learning strategies of the underrepresented community to excel. They literally just said, you can read, you can speak, you can see, you can hear, you can talk, go right into the classroom. And so what he's saying is that the child has to be taught, whether that is an adult or a child. I mean, he's using the term child now, but in my work, I work with educators, parents, and students. And part of the reason is that a child does not automatically know that they need to learn. the parents need to be aware that the child does not know and has to learn or be taught. And the teacher has to be able to be the bridge between the parents' inability to teach things they've never learned, understood, or had success at in school, and being able to bridge that gap. But let's go right back to Marlon.
You know, and I'm like, you know, like they would just be like, you know, you could really go on in daily life. You could be walking around. Like, think about this. If you can't really like read well, you could be walking and someone could hold up, I'm going to kill you. And you would just keep walking towards that way. Like you're just walking around, seeing stuff, and you just have, like, it might look like Chinese. Something that says tomato, you're like, you're just walking around just completely just, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that on you?
The thing I was,
For me, that is such an incredible connection. This dude, I think he's incredible, right? Not just on the field, but being able to make these connections. Because in 2023, I had the opportunity to travel to countries where English was not the first language. And when he said that, you know, walking around and not really knowing, when I was in Dubai and the words, I kept forgetting the words go from right to left. Like it was the sort of place that I kept getting turned around. I was scared, not because it wasn't safe. It's because I literally was walking, and that's walking without a real awareness of being able to interpret the signs. And even when the signs were in English, there's no arrows that show the direction. Where is east and north? Like south and west. I had no idea. And it was a panicky thing for me. And what he's saying here is that even when it comes to education and how it translates to what I do in STEM, even when it comes to education, if there is no one helping you figure out the orientation of what you're seeing, doing, feeling, hearing, and your teachers don't have patience with you, the child doesn't see the value of it, and I can comment on that later on, or the parents, sometimes it makes for a really challenging situation. The point
I've became a teacher the past couple of days. Once I saw we had a couple struggles, put on my teacher cap. I deleted some games off the iPad.
really punished them. So
I kept up. All right. Well, he kind of had a small problem. He had at least 40 games, which is just, that's a lot of apps. Yeah. That's just a lot of apps. So deleted about 34, 33, downloaded about 3, you know. So now we're doing more, you know, we're making iPad fun, learn.
Self-development.
You know, I need a Beethoven. Now, I look back on my life, my child development. I had great parents, but I wish A's were the only thing acceptable. Now, we couldn't get D's and F's. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know, I wasn't the smartest, you know, but I'm saying, you know, I need that, you know, I want 4.0 to be the standard. I was a big cheater.
What I find so interesting here is that he said that what he now wants is academic focus to be a priority for his son. Now, this is someone who signed in the Ravens as a safety for a 5-year contract of $100 million. That's $20 million a year. So what is happening in his world where he's able to look at his life, the life of his son, and say, I want more for him? There's more than meets the eye. And I keep referring to this analysis that I did and I shared on National STEM Day in 2023, is that the lifetime earnings of someone who is a STEM professional exceeds the lifetime earning of a football player based on the money they earn in the early part of their life. That money they use to fund other businesses. But if someone only earns what they earn during their playing time, or they don't know how to invest their money to create returns, it's a hard knock life. So let's go back into this right quick.
I'll admit that. So
really?
I never really put my best foot forward, but you know, I want that to be the standard. And I want a kid playing piano with him. You know, if he went academic ride, I'd be like, whoo.
So no football.
I mean, he can do what he wants, but you know, that's on the back burner.
But don't you think it's what you push him towards? Or
my parents didn't really push us towards anything either, though. But I wish they would have forced school. I had a Korean friend. His parents made him just quit sports from school.
Mm.
Ended up going to Duke. Obviously, highly academic, blah, blah, blah. I said all that to say they forced that upon him. And I'm not going to make my child quit sports. But, you know, you walk in this house with a C, huh?
You lose a game.
Hey.
Here's something interesting that he said. His parents never pushed him toward anything. So what became the standard for his house is what the culture dictates. And in our culture, entertainment and sports are the thing that historically we had access to, entertaining the masses. And that became the thing that culture began shaping what we did. Like I said at the beginning, in represented communities, the parents are shaping the future for the child. In the underrepresented communities, culture and whatever is popular and influencing and whatever looks like an opportunity is what we're pushing the kids towards. And he said, I wasn't the smartest, but being able to make this connection, I think what he didn't have is learning strategies, not that he wasn't smart. Because if he can make these connections, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Hey, no. That sport might have to go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, you know, I am going to be very that parent.
Do it,
When you get home from
Marlon.
school, I already did my homework. Well, you already know the routine. We do our, you know, I don't know, is 30 minutes good? 30 minutes seems like a good, 30 minutes, you get home, get to it. What,
Look at this, so crazy. He's like, you got a good 30 minutes. Is 30 minutes good? He doesn't even know definitively if 30 minutes is enough study time after a child completes homework. His intentions are great, but without the tools and resources to really help his child, is he really helping? I'm not saying anything. I mindeth my own business.
Mental health is key.
Mhm.
Maybe get your little downtime, relax, clear the day. 30 minutes homework or work, read a book, do something. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do some catching up real quick.
Okay, so let's stop presenting. They went back to talking sports, and in case you can't tell, I watched the whole video. But the whole point I'm making is the fact that Marlon, who is earning a buku amount of money, understood that sports is not necessarily the best path for his son. He wanted an academic standard. And that is the thing. If you're an athlete, the respect you have is different if you're an academic. It's the reason why that one little lady said, shut up and dribble the ball. Education, I said it in another video, and I'm gonna say it till somebody gets it, is the most powerful weapon by which we can change the world. When we as people who are underrepresented in STEM stop placing so much emphasis on sports and entertainment and pushing our kids into that, it's great recreationally as a form of, like you said, mental health. That's what the purpose of sports and music and all of these things should be, mental health and wellness. It should not be the main driver. And here's the thing, it is actually easier to be on genius level academically with less amount of time training. A child trains about, I think 2 hours a day, 2 hours a week towards STEM, towards sports. Towards sports, if we put that work into them studying every single day of the week and building a really great academic foundation, it becomes a different life for that child. And the results are compounding and figuring out the things that child like. It changes the trajectory, not only of your child, but of the legacy you leave behind for your children. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you'd like to be in touch with me, my LinkedIn connection is below. Go ahead and send me an email. I'm also available at S.T.E.M Braids and Beyond. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like, comment, and share. Until next time, bye-bye.